Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alligator Podcast, where we talk all things at the University of Florida, Gainesville, and beyond. I'm your host, Elliot, and here's the news. South Florida alternative rock band Supergold played at the Hardback Cafe on Saturday, September 4th. I've had the opportunity to talk with the band about recording an album during COVID, playing shows again after a year and a half, the meaning behind their new album, and their experience playing in Gainesville. This podcast was recorded on Thursday, September 2nd at 10 p.m. Well, everyone, welcome to the second episode of The Alligator. I'm with the South Florida band Supergold. Guys, thanks so much for joining the podcast today.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So I figure I ask you a simple question. I would like everyone to introduce themselves and what instrument you play and what are your what is everyone's individual musical influences.
Cool. Pablo.
I'm Pablo. I play bass and I listen to rock and funk, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Supergold.
I'm Alex. I'm the singer. I listen to a lot of 80s music. I love Billy Idol. He's my favorite. He's awesome.
My name's Sean. I play drums. One of my favorite drummers, Steve Jordan. I listen to a lot of 80s music as well, R&B, and some trap influence stuff. Like that's in there.
I'm Tanner Collins, and I play the guitar, and I love lots of groovy heavy metal and hard rock. And I guess like two biggest inspirations are Pantera and Avenged Sevenfold.
I'm Chris. I also play guitar. I listen to a little bit of everything, but I do listen to a lot of Pink Floyd. Am I in
Can
this?
you see Chris?
I know.
Chris
I
likes Pink
just
Floyd.
see a little head pop up. Wait.
I'm Chris.
I'm Chris. There you go. Yeah, let me get something. Man.
That's funny.
Keep going,
Sit
though.
on that pillow.
That's cool. So I'm glad to hear that. And now let me hear a little bit more about Supergold. So how did Supergold form?
Supergold formed. I put up flyers. I just graduated from FAU, and when I was there, I wanted to form a band, and so I put up flyers at all of the local colleges around here. And that was kind of like the first iteration of Supergold. And then I met Tanner and Pablo through different shows. And then Chris found a flyer that I put up months ago, and he hit me up. And then we met Sean here through a friend of a friend. Sean just joined. He's the new drummer.
Cool. Okay. And my next question for you guys is what was it like for you when COVID started?
The first thing that we had canceled was the biggest payday the band was supposed to get. It was like we had this big show that obviously we don't do this for the money, but it certainly helps, with the advertising and gear and all that. But it was supposed to be our biggest payday and the show got canceled. What else did we do? We just kind of worked on a lot of recording. We took the opportunity to kind of work on the business side of the band, which not everyone's interested in, but we're just kind of working on our advertising and what kind of directions we want to go with. We put out our album in January, which was really crazy because that was received really well and was our best performing release, and we didn't play any shows behind it. So that was crazy. That there's still people supporting us through COVID. So what it was like was, we thought we were worried that we were going to fall out of people's heads. But we actually got the opposite. We got a lot of support and outpouring. And people kept listening to us.
Right. What was it like recording? Did you guys record during COVID?
Yeah. So during COVID, our producer Sebastian Quintero, he lived in Nashville, but he moved down here. And so whenever we would go record, we would have to go all the way to Nashville to record. But since he moved down here, you know, he brought his whole studio with him. We were able to get just hammer stuff out and get a lot more done a lot fast. But actually, we had a lot more time, so we were able to put a lot more time into it. So we didn't get a whole lot of songs done because we weren't able to. We didn't just like knock them out. We were able to take our time with them, which was really cool.
Now, wow. I'm just curious. So, what have you guys played a live show yet?
Not yet. Tomorrow's the first one in over a year and a half.
Wow. So what's your expectations like? What's something that you really missed from playing a live show?
Else want to chime in on this?
We got a lot of people coming.
Yeah.
We're playing in West Palm, so it's kind of close to home. We have a lot of friends in the area. We've got a lot of RSVPs, you know, because we're doing this show for free.
The whole tour.
Yeah, the whole tour. So more people are coming, and it's crazy because it's our first show back. And what we've got.
We got like 100 people signed up, which like, you know, we're a small band. 100 people is like nothing crazy, but for us, it means a lot because the last show that we played at this venue, we had to hustle our butts off to get 50 people there, you know, and that our first show back is double that, which is really great because there's a lot of hard work that went into this.
Wow. And how long ago? When was the last show that you guys did before COVID? Before the lockdown started happening?
Maybe.
I think it was like middle of February because we had it for like the first week of March or something. Like the second.
Was it shows?
No, it wasn't. It was
The fair.
Nah, somewhere in Fort Lauderdale. That was the last show.
It was that
Where we all had that like nice picture.
Yeah, Studio 5.
There you go.
Our last show was in Fort Lauderdale.
That was crazy. So.
Like early 2020.
Early 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, early 2020. So February 2020 was the last one we did in Fort Lauderdale.
If anything, we're happy that show was as good as it was.
Yeah.
It was
That's
a really
when,
good show.
things started bubbling up.
Yeah.
And people were just started to talk about COVID. Like,
We're making fun of it too. I remember specifically making fun of it.
This will be over in a couple weeks. You remember that first? We were like, by June we'll be fine.
Right.
Absolutely not.
We were making plans too.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we'll pick up shows in June. No, we were. Little did they know.
Did
it was nice to take a break though.
Now I wanted to ask. So, have you guys ever played? You guys played shows in Gainesville before, and I'm just curious, what was that like?
The last show we played once before in Gainesville at a house show, and it was during our tour in 2019. It was in November 2019. And that one, I was talking about this earlier, it was either sold the most or the second most tickets, which was crazy because it outsold our hometown and we had never been there before, which like blew our minds. And I already knew Gainesville had a great scene and a very underrated scene. And that there's a lot of kids there that are very supportive of local music, which that tour taught us is not everywhere and to really appreciate it. So yeah, the last show we played in Gainesville was a really, really awesome house show. It, like sold more than our hometown, which is like insane.
Now, were you gonna say something?
I was just saying that we love Gainesville.
We love you too.
Oh.
That's cool. So now, I was gonna say, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the album. So, Nowhere USA. What does that mean?
It kind of ties in with the EP that we put out. I don't know how we ended up on these location-based titles, but I came up with Nowhere USA, and I just like the idea of when we were putting the songs together. So we could say that when we were doing like our virtual concert was something we wanted to do for a while, we could say it was live from Nowhere USA, and we could hopefully bring people to a place with it. So that's why a lot of the branding of with that album was Enjoy Your Stay. we wanted it to feel like a location, like when you were listening to the album, you were there. The title we were throwing around, I was throwing around that everyone shot down was Kentucky Kingdom, but no one
We
liked
used
that.
to joke that he wanted to call it Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried
The album.
Did now what about the? I'm just curious about the artwork. Like, what's the purpose behind that?
That was our friend Tim. He's done. I met him in high school, and he's done almost all of the graphics, the album covers, anything visual for the band. He's done like 99% of it up until recently. Only because I learned how to use Photoshop. And he came up with this. Actually his hand in the thing. And we were just tossing around ideas, and he showed up with that, and I thought that was awesome. So we stuck with that, and then we wanted to, with all the single covers, make them feel cohesive. So we kind of had these like different windows for the interview. We wanted to have all the single covers feel cohesive, so you could have all of these windows. One cool thing we did with the CD is that the reverse of the CD is the other side of the window.
My last question. This is for everyone. If you got, I'm just curious. Like, let's say, let's just picture something. Let's say you got to deal with a movie studio, and they said, hey, you could put any song in one of our movies. So I'm just curious, like, what song would you put in a movie, and what song and movie would that be?
Oh God. I mean, there's like a couple.
So pick a song, pick a movie.
Like, it depends though the type of movie. Like, if it's a horror movie, I would definitely pick Halloween or something like that. If it's something futuristic, I'd do Blade Runner. If it's like an action movie, I'd do the new one that's coming out.
Pick song, pick movie.
Blade Runner,
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner. Anyone else?
I feel like Nowhere USA would be sick for a movie, like in the opening or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. What movie? Pick a movie.
Some like a desert shot, you know?
Yeah.
South Park the movie.
John, pick a song, pick a movie.
Money Lover, La La Land.
Ooh,
What?
I haven't seen La La Land.
Yeah, what? What? Oh, dang. Caught me on a curve there. I don't know, man.
I can answer for Chris.
Go.
So Cold, the Lego movie.
Instead of everything's awesome, be just so cool.
Everything is awesome.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I just want to say good luck to the show, and keep on doing what you're doing, and stay safe.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, man. Thank you for having us. Thanks for thinking of us.
Anytime. Well, that's all for today. Be sure to follow us on your favorite listening and viewing platform, as well as checking out new episodes Mondays and Fridays. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day.